The Memphis Soul Prize award show is made possible by the support of these local businesses, organizations, and individuals. Hey everybody, welcome to the 2022 Memphis Soul Prize. We are so glad that you're here. You are the reason that this is special, Memphis. We're glad that you've joined us for another year of Memphis Soul Prize. With me, as always, is the man himself, Memphis Jones. Hey, Memphis.
Hey, buddy. I'm excited to be here with you again. I've so loved getting involved in this process as Memphis Soul Prize continues to grow, and I get to see further and further into the city's history through the eyes of its students. Bro, I really think it's going to be the best one yet.
It is going to be the best one. And to get it started, check out this video from Memphis Jones.
Hey everybody, it's me, Memphis Jones, just hanging out here in vibrant South Memphis, Tennessee. Listen, I've got a question for you. Can you be one of the most influential musicians in the world and still be largely unknown in your own hometown? If you ask Memphis Slim, the answer is yes. Memphis Slim wrote a song called Every Day I Have the Blues, which remains to this day one of the most covered songs in the history of that genre. Memphis Slim has more than 500 songwriting credits over the course of his career, and his band, the House Rockers, may be the inspiration for the creation of a term, rock and roll. You ever heard of it? That's Memphis music. Memphis Slim actually grew up in this house, taught himself how to play his dad's piano, and quickly found work in downtown Memphis, Tennessee on Beale Street, and then went over across the river to West Memphis, Arkansas, where he got a gig at the Plantation Inn. The Plantation Inn is one of the most famous places in the South. Musicians know that for years it was a crossroads of Southern culture. Musicians from all different ethnicities and backgrounds were spending time together on the dance floors and on the bandstand, where Memphis Slim honed his chops. From there, Memphis Slim's story goes all the way to Paris, France, where he lived the rest of his life entertaining the audiences that loved him and his music. So can you be successful without being rich and famous? Of course you can. As creators, success is only defined by the experience that we allow ourselves to have. If you give your heart to the thing that you love most and pursue it with excellence, the success you're looking for is going to come looking for you. Yes, you can be successful without being rich and famous, and you don't have to take my word for it. Just ask Memphis Slim. It was really fun getting to go out in South Memphis and make that video. That they're doing such an amazing thing with that house. You know, that house is very, very old. That house was there before Stax Records was there. I mean, like if you're peeling back layers of history, it's really amazing.
Wow.
And being there, just, I don't know, getting to stand in the footsteps, the footprints of legends and giants is just fascinating. And those places are all over Memphis, Tennessee.
And the artists in our culture, that's what I love about Memphis. That's what I love about Memphis Soul Prize. It is about celebrating the beauty, and that really is what changes culture.
Awesome.
I love that. And that's the birth, that's the seed of Memphis Soul Prize.
I agree.
As a matter of fact, why don't you guys check this out? Here's the vision of Memphis Soul Prize. How are a people united and a culture elevated? Beauty. When honesty and insight and creativity combine in the human heart, magic happens. New realities are formed, new possibilities are imagined. Beauty has power, poetry has power. This is the Memphis Soul Prize, where we are uniting the people of Memphis, Tennessee around celebrating the good and elevating the story of our city. We're joining together to do something special, Memphis. First, it's a contest open to every high schooler in the city. Our students learn about the history, the music, the culture of Memphis, Tennessee. And through their eyes, we get to see the things that they love about the city that loves them. And secondly, it's a creative celebration. We collaborate with the students, with musicians, with creation studios to bring to life the students' poetry. And that's where you come in. Your job is to celebrate, to support these students. They're giving us a new song to sing, and we have to sing it so the whole world can hear it. Memphis is special, and enthusiasm is contagious. It's up to all of us to unite our hearts, to celebrate the good, and elevate the story of our city. I cannot wait to see where this goes. This is the Memphis Soul Prize. That's what we're all about here at the Memphis Soul Prize, and you guys are a big part of that. We saw thousands of people vote this year. It was so exciting to watch the numbers go up each week, knowing that Memphis as a city was engaging with the students in how they see Memphis through their poetry, through their art.
Yes.
It was so cool.
So super exciting. Like, you know, you're doing it, I'm doing it, just sharing it on my own personal social media. But then when I see how many times it's getting shared beyond me, knowing that just like dropping a pebble, you know, ripples just continue. I mean, it really is exciting to see how it's growing.
Well, why don't we jump into the first poem. It's called Memphis, City of Magic by Isabella Atito Akpan of Cordova High School.
Along the streets, I cross a lane. I glimpse a child viewing through their window pane. I smile, she smiles. I am now here. The heart of Memphis, its beauty is clear. And I can hear the trumpets sound. The city lights dazzle all around. The home of jazz in Bill Street found will draw your mind and still astound. I take a whiff of the crisp, smoky air. A barbecue is grilling there. The sun is setting, I'm in no hurry. I must continue along this journey. I cruise the streets and still I find the brilliant soul, comely design. A city of golden stars, a world of beauty and stacks. So much can inspire, like the charm of rock and roll and sax. Within the museum of Wither's collection, I stand transfixed by history. I see Ella Baker in my reflection, resilient fighter that looks like me. Out of the ashes, the city transformed, a world of hate to a city warmed. With the love of our people, we change things around. Our streets fill with laughter, a euphoric sound. The city of Memphis holds beauty like no other. The city of Memphis holds my sisters and brothers. The city of Memphis, it glows like a star. In the city of Memphis, you're free to be who you are.
Man, that's inspiring. I love her energy, the way she punched up, be who you are. Like, I could feel that youthful energy.
One of the pieces too that I loved was she mentioned the name Ella Baker. It was a name that a lot of students may not know, but Ella Baker was right there alongside Martin Luther King Jr. She was right there in the civil rights movement in the 60s, making a big difference in the civil rights movement. And this student, as she writes this poem, she says that she can see her reflection when she sees Ella Baker. I'm imagining a museum and you see a picture of Ella Baker and she's looking through the glass and she sees her face as she's seeing that. It's such a beautiful image and a beautiful way to write it in a poem that makes us see that students right now are growing up and can make a difference just like Ella Baker.
Connecting to their history.
Love it.
Moving into the future. Man, they have a soul prize.
Poetry is powerful. And so let's jump to the next poem by Navon Jones of Overton High School, Confessions About Memphis.
Known as the City of Blues, Memphis is prone to having many unique hues. Some view this city as horrible, but I say Memphis is not all trouble. I love how Memphis lifts us up. When I think of the city, I picture a place where beautiful people develop. Here, you have just as many chances as you don't. The only thing to stop you is the use of the word won't. Behind the glamour lurks a problem. Memphis is prone to crime. Crime that sticks to the streets like an ever-expanding grime. This is all a part of the charm. It has its problems, but not too much as if to cause tremendous harm. What do I love about Memphis? I love that Memphis is a place shimmering with potential you could kiss, but underneath the gleaming surface lies an ever-expanding rift opening filled with everything except bliss.
Thank you, Navon. That was great. I love that this 9th grader is looking at a city that he loves, is sharing his heart. It's called Confessions About Memphis.
The one thing that really got my attention was when he was talking about just beneath the surface is a potential that you could kiss, like maybe eyes that are tempted to settle for circumstances, but actually are lifted to a higher vision. There's hope in what he's saying. Even though there's a grimy surface, he knows that underneath there's this potential, there's future. And that's amazing. Somebody that young to see that. I'm so grateful to these kids sharing this with us.
That's great. I love that too.
Yeah, this next poem is going to be great. This is called Where Whispers Are Heard. It's written by Autumn Meadows from Kirby High School.
The city, street lights, full of hurt and fight. Good and bad, there's much fun to be had. Bill Street, full of soul, some fun, cold and old. Soul food, good blues, blues being heard, and lyrics being felt, like cards being dealt. Win or lose, these streets tell the truth. Your truth or mine, they're the same under bright lights that could be brought in dark time. Times when many become wise and strong, strong like a black panther that roams the streets. Streets, highways, and alleys, places where some of the wrong people meet. Blues being heard, lyrics being felt, like cards being dealt. Win or lose, these streets tell the truth.
Man, I love that. Lyrics felt like cards being dealt. That is powerful. Have you ever heard that line in Memphis?
So bare, it's so stark, so revealing. That is incredible talent and so simple. And honestly, that young lady's a performance artist. Did you sort of pick up on her pace and her delivery?
Absolutely.
Oh, it was complete. I loved that.
And now, Kevin Medrano from Southwind High School gives us the music.
I walked down the path where rose blossoms tumbled in the wind. The city streets roared with wonder and excitement. Sweet musical jazz filling the heads of this utopia. The city of Memphis, thriving with grandeur. Others may look with doubtful eyes, unknown of our culture. Even hatless strangers are filled with warmth by those that come to aid. All cultures hand in hand, united by invigorating music that baptizes the soul. From the hero, Tom Lee, to the boy wonder turned king. These are the people that make Memphis. Truth and revelation that Memphis is home.
Wow, how exciting that was. I loved that one. Like, as a musician, you know, that one really is special to me. I love that this young man, of all the things that Memphis is famous for and all the things that it could be famous for, to really just grab a hold of the music and to say that the music baptizes the city. It's an immersion and it's accurate, it's true.
And it makes us all different. Like you said, it immerses us. We emerge different when the music hits us. We are a different people. We're a different culture.
And speaking of culture, why don't we take a minute and watch a video about some more Memphis culture, Memphis music history, something fun that I got to do this morning about Isaac Hayes.
I love that. And when we come back, as a special treat for you guys, we have the author of our winning poem, Cadence Yarger. She's gonna be joining us. We're gonna get to talk with her a little bit about what inspired her poem.
Hey everybody, check this out. I'm hanging out on the street corner of College and Macklemore here in South Memphis. This is the home of Stax Records, the birthplace of soul. And right behind me, here's a business that might be coming up for sale, Jones Beauty Salon. I don't want to raise my expectations too high, but opportunity might be knocking for old Memphis Jones. Listen, if you want to talk about expectation and opportunity, let's talk about Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes grew up in North Memphis in abject poverty. He taught himself to become a multi-instrumentalist and walked into Stax Studio one day where he met Estelle Axton, one of the two owners. After a brief conversation, Estelle recognized something special in Isaac and invited him down into the studio to show her what he could do with the piano. That short conversation led to hit songs, not just for people like Booker T and the MGs or Otis Redding, but also Isaac Hayes himself. In fact, his album, Hot Buttered Soul, continues to be one of the biggest selling albums in the history of Memphis music. He took the money from that success and bought himself a full-length fur coat and a Cadillac that he trimmed in gold. He wanted everybody to recognize him no matter where he went. But instead of parking that car in the gated communities and hobnobbing with the rich and famous, he wanted to drive it around here, the street corners of South Memphis, looking for young people. He would pull up on street corners and get out and spend time talking to young people and inspiring them. Isaac Hayes himself said that his treasure was not in the bank account, it was in the eyes of these young people who thought that expectations should only be so high or opportunity could only take them so far. He showed them what talent and hard work could do, and he said that was his heartbeat. If there is one story we can learn from Isaac Hayes, it's that no matter where you start, no matter how low or how low you think the ceiling is, with talent and commitment, the sky is the limit.
Wow, I love that. The sky is the limit. I hope you hear that, young people. It's an amazing message. And with us right now, we have Cadence Yarger. So excited that you're here.
Yeah, good to be here.
Amazing. You wrote the poem that all of Memphis said, this is our favorite. We want to see the film made of this one. They loved the words. They loved the way that you wove something together. And so we just wanted to, we're so lucky, we wanted to interview you and let all of Memphis hear a little bit more behind the poem. So let's start with, what inspired this? What was in you that said, I need to write this poem?
Honestly, just living in Memphis, being in community, specifically my church. We have a lot of community in my church. And so I get to see just like the beauty in that relationship and living in community in Memphis. I also see the struggle, the hard things in life that we go through, specifically in Memphis. So that really inspired me.
I love that. As an artist, I can see that experience informs a lot of what you see, and as an artist, you translate that into poetry.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about what you see.
There's a lot of heavy things going on right now in Memphis, a lot of hurt, loss of loved ones. But I have been able to see joy in the midst of the pain and the suffering.
I know your poem. You know, I've read your poem, and I'm watching you explain this and describe, you know, our reality to us, but I'm seeing in your face the same thing that I see in your poem, that there is something beyond, and this joy or this beauty, broken beauty, this a love for a city, even in tragedy, being evident to you. That's such a special perspective to see that and to want to share that. Is that sort of where the whole poem came from?
Yeah, I mean, that really did inspire it. Just seeing the struggle and still getting to experience joy and community and love. And even in the brokenness, like the beauty can emerge.
Yeah, and I think that's why Memphis loved your poem. That's why they voted for your poem. It was inspiring. So thank you for your poem. Thank you for joining us tonight and letting us get a little deeper into what makes you so special. And now it's time for the world premiere of the film inspired by your poem, The Broken Beauty by Cadence Yarger.
Memphis rides in town. The wind blowing in your hair as the music sways to the rhythm of the road. Charming shops and eateries fill your sight. Scrumptious smells of barbecue fill your nose. Sounds of blues fill your ears. Friends walk in the streets, delighting in all of its majesty. The city of beauty. Memphis rides in town, the wind blowing in your hair as the music sways to the rhythm of the road. Passing by spray-painted bridges and buildings, smoke fills the air, lonely children roaming the streets. No home in sight, gunshots or fireworks, the game we play all night. The city of brokenness. Walking in Memphis is a marvelous masterpiece where Memphians gather, sharing their dreams. Festivals, murals, and concerts being the canvas, while the colors of art, music, and food are the paint. The city of beauty. Walking in Memphis is a broken, shattered dream, with stories of hurt that seem to be the theme, where kings and queens fight the fiery beasts of poverty, where princes and princesses fight the beast of educational inequality, a story that must be overcome. The city of brokenness. Memphis, the city that is growing, changing, and breathing. The city that brings unity and kindness. The the city that wraps its arms around you. Memphis, you are a broken beauty.
And that is a beautiful poem.
Yeah.
That is a heartfelt poem. Wow, for someone so young, you could tell she is just super clever. You know, what an insightful young person. This girl sees the city from both sides, coming up in the culture of her church, seeing like firsthand, knowing what it's like to not have enough, knowing what it's like to have enough to share, and being able to articulate it the way that she does in this poem. That is just so fantastic. When she says, fireworks are gunshots, the game we all play. That is, what an amazing statement that is. How wonderful, how clever.
The lines that she turns are so memorable. I love that line. And I also love, for some reason it stuck out to me, kings and queens, escaping poverty. Just the juxtaposition of royalty and poverty.
Love that.
But claiming this identity of royalty, even though this circumstance is there.
Yeah.
And that's what's so beautiful about the film. The older woman is actually the younger girl. And she's experiencing both sides of Memphis. And so that film puts it together for us so that we can see that beauty comes from the brokenness, but it's not all broken. There's life. There's real life with beautiful people. And that's what Memphis is all about.
How wonderful, man. Something that I noticed was all of the finalists seem to share a common undercurrent in their poems, that it's worthwhile to look on the bright side and to see value in things that maybe the rest of the world would devalue or even despise.
And that's what the Memphis Soul Prize is all about. It's reminding us to see the world that way. And so we want to thank all of the students who contributed poems this year. We want to thank the teachers, Memphis and Shelby County Schools. They've been so supportive. All the sponsors who have helped us make this happen. And the students receive, all of them receive journals, gift cards to restaurants. They get to experience the fun of the food culture in Memphis.
Yeah, fun.
They get movie passes, and they even get a $5,000 scholarship. So thank you so much to our sponsors who have helped make that possible, and to our families who have contributed and made that possible. So we want to thank you, Memphis, all of you, for joining us this year for the 2022 Memphis Soul Prize. Congratulations, Cadence, on being the winner. And we can't wait till next year. We can't wait to see where this goes, because the mission is for all of us to unite and celebrate the best things about Memphis and elevate the story of our city. So thank you for joining us.
See you right here next year.
The Memphis Soul Prize award show is made possible by the support of these local businesses, organizations, and individuals.